Hey friend, I'm Grace, your host of Bodies, Business, and Becoming. I'm a photographer, body positive activist, proud ADHDer, and someone who's learning how to run a business, love my brain, and be at home in my body all at the same time. This podcast is your permission slip to show up messy, take up space, and grow at your own pace. See what I did there? We even rhyme over here. It's a great time. Don't forget to subscribe, and all of my socials will be linked below. Now let's dive in. Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast. It's episode 2. I'm so excited to be here and so thankful that you've chosen to tune in again. Seriously, it means the world. This space is something I've been dreaming of for a long time, and getting to share it with all of you makes it even more special. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been here since episode 1, I appreciate you sticking around and coming along on this journey with me. Okay, last week's episode was more of an introduction, kind of a trailer for what this podcast is all about. I gave a quick sneak peek into my world, my why, and what kind of topics we'll be diving into together. But today, I'm warning you, we're going deeper. Today's episode is all about body image in the service industry specifically, and how I approach inclusivity in my business. And honestly, this episode has been sitting on my heart for a long time, so let's get into it. P.S. Don't forget to stay tuned until the very end of the podcast because I have an exciting announcement and a way for you to get involved with the podcast. Here's the thing. When you're a service provider, whether that's in photography, hair, aesthetics, massage therapy, or any kind of face-to-face industry where you work directly with clients, body image is always part of the conversation, whether it's spoken loud or silently felt in the space. As a photographer, I'm always thinking about how my clients feel when they're in front of the camera. Do they feel seen? Do they feel celebrated? Do they feel safe? That's the bare minimum. Honestly, we're not always taught to think about that, especially when we're first starting out. When I was building my portfolio in early days, my business is almost 10 years now, I realized I was mostly photographing people who fit one specific mold, not necessarily on purpose, but that was who was showing up and booking. And I had to ask myself, does everyone feel seen here? If someone's going to book with me, do they feel like they see someone who looks like them? And if not, why? I want you to sit with that for a moment. Why? Why does representation matter? Representation is not just a buzzword, it's a form of care, it's safety. It's saying you're welcome here and you're always celebrated here. I personally know what it feels like to search for a service provider like a massage therapist, esthetician, or a fellow photographer and not see anyone in their portfolio who looks like me. It makes you wonder, will they know how to work with my body? Will they respect it? Will they make me feel like I belong? I have to say, I haven't felt like that in years though. All of the service providers I've worked with within the last 8 years or so has made me feel welcome. So I'm not saying that this is recent at all, but it's something that I think a lot of people experience enough to bring more awareness and conversation with it. Even something as seemingly small as the way a massage or facial bed is set up can make a client feel excluded. If all the clients in your social media look like they're size 2, it might send the message, whether intentional or not, that you haven't thought about how your services feel to someone in a larger body. And this doesn't just apply to plus size bodies. This applies to LGBTQ plus bodies. This applies to disabled bodies, aging bodies, all bodies that have been historically excluded from mainstream imagery. Let's talk about something that comes up often in service settings, how we talk about our own bodies in front of clients, okay? This is a big one. I cannot count how many times I have received a service in the past, like 8 or 9 years ago past, okay? Not recent, thankfully. I know so many wonderful service providers and I've always felt super comfortable. So when I talk about this, I'm talking about like a while ago. When service providers critique themselves in front of their clients, it is so uncomfortable. I've heard things like, oh, I need to lose weight. I'm not ready for summer. Don't mind my stomach. I wish I had your hair, your skin, etc. And it honestly puts clients in a really uncomfortable position, especially if they're already struggling with body image themselves. I know I've walked away from these experiences feeling worse about myself, even though that was never the provider's intention. So here's the reminder. Body positivity doesn't stop at how you treat others. It also includes how you speak about yourself. Your clients are listening. They're absorbing that energy, and you're truly setting the tone in your space. A huge value in my photography business is this. I will never, ever alter bodies in the editing process. Period. It's in my contract, it's something I say out loud to clients, and it's something I stand by. I will never slim waists. I rarely remove scars unless the client is truly adamant, and I don't adjust anyone's natural body shape, and I never will. Why? Because all bodies are good bodies. There's no right way to look in a photo. I want my clients to look at their photos and say, wow, I look like me. Even when I photograph children, I keep the same mindset, and I try not to comment on their looks. Instead, I'll say things like, you're so brave. You were so silly and fun today. I loved how curious you were during the shoot looking at all of the bugs in the trees. These are qualities that matter. Kids should know their worth isn't based on their appearance, and that starts with the language we use around them. When you're building an inclusive portfolio, here's some things to keep in mind, okay? About a year ago, I did a model call for boudoir photography. I had done some boudoir work before, of course, but I noticed that I needed more diversity in my portfolio. More body types, more skin tones, more representation overall. I didn't want people to feel like boudoir was only for one kind of person, one kind of body, because it's not. Empowerment is never one size fits all. That model call changed a lot for me and my business. It brought in people who were nervous but truly excited, and people who never thought they'd do something like this before. People who had never seen themselves reflected in this light. Let's be real about inclusion. Even if you're not in the service industry, even if you're running an online business, selling products, teaching, speaking, whatever it is, this still applies. Inclusion and representation belong everywhere. It's not enough to say we welcome everyone. Show it, act on it, make it known, and keep learning. This isn't about being perfect. This is about learning and growing. And please, for the love of everything, if someone calls themselves fat, do not respond with, you're not fat, you're beautiful. Fat and beautiful are not opposites. You may feel like you're giving a compliment, but it's not the kind of compliment you think you're giving. It's really not one at all. Someone can be both. Saying otherwise upholds a false idea that beauty only comes in one form and size, and we're done with that narrative, okay? We're done with that. So here's my question for you, and I really want you to think about this. What are some body positive practices that you've implemented in your business or in your everyday life? If you're a service provider, how do you create a safer, more inclusive space for your clients? If you're someone who interacts with people regularly, how do you model body acceptance for others? You don't have to be perfect, you just have to be willing. I want you to be on this podcast, okay? If you're a business owner, a creator, a service provider, someone with a neurospicy brain like mine, someone passionate about body positivity, wellness, creativity, mental health, and sharing your story, I would love to interview and hear from you. I'll be sharing a link in the episode description here to a quick form that you can fill out to apply to be a guest speaker right here on the podcast. This will also be shared in my Instagram bios, so whether you're in Massachusetts, want to record in person, or you're somewhere else and we record virtually, I'm all about celebration and real meaningful conversations, and we're gonna have a great time. Make sure you're following me over on my Instagrams at BodyPausyGrace. That will be linked in the description as well below, and GMAC Photos. I'll be posting updates there, sharing clips from episodes in the future, behind the scenes, and a whole lot more. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next. I've got some amazing guests lined up already, and I seriously can't wait to keep growing with all of you. Thank you so much for being here and for listening all the way through. I'm sending you so much love, and I'll talk to you in the next episode. Bye!